We are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is that you're watching from. I am Salia Ducle, and you are watching, of course, Weekend Review on Hot Talk. Um, right. So, if you don't mind, just give me a couple of minutes, maybe 2 minute tops, and I will try to share this live into a few groups, and then we will officially start our show. Well, technically speaking, we are already on, so. But yeah, like I said, let me just share the lives and then we'll be on. Oh my God. No, 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 no. Okay. I hope my network is not very bad, huh? Well, in Africa, we are almost on, guys. We are almost on. You know, I mean, we are already on, but just one more minute. In 1 minute, then we'll officially start. In case you don't know, this is the show we call Week in Review, where we talk about everything we talked about last week. I mean, not everything, but most of the things that we talked about last week, the headlines, the top headlines, we touch on everything. And you guys that are watching get to ask questions. Either you join the show or you put your questions in the comment section. I'm going to I'm going to put a link in the comment in case anybody want to join. All you have to do is copy that link from the comment and put it in your browser and press search. It will bring you straight into the studio, and then you'll be on here with me on the screen, and you can ask me any questions regarding any of the thing that we are talking about. Of course, you can ask me questions about something that we are not talking about. It always has to be, about what we are talking about, right? At least for this week in review program, right? In case you don't know, my name is Salia A. Ducle, and I am your host for the weekend review on here on Hard Talk, right? Where we speak from the heart. And everybody, we support everybody. We encourage everyone to do the same, speak from the heart. Speak what you believe in, you know, no other way around, Sorry about that. Again, that was very, very horrible. This is what we get to deal with when it comes to network, internet in Africa. It's really, really, unbearable, to say the least. But yeah, with no further ado, let's get into it. You guys, please don't be shy away from commenting in the comments. If you can hear me clearly, put yes in the comment. And I already put the link in the comments. That link is you can copy the link and post it in your browser and search, and then you will appear on the stage with me on the screen with me to ask any questions regarding this subject that we'll be discussing. Again, this is Week in Review, right? Please, again, if you are just joining us, please subscribe if you are watching us on YouTube, and how do you call it, follow us and like our page if you are watching on Facebook, right? So let's go ahead right away, right? The first topic or headline we are going to be discussing today regarding the Week in Review is last week, how do you call it, red light eviction, right? We all saw what happened last week in red light. The government, or at least a court, order a eviction notice to a person or somebody who was occupying somewhere in red light where it was of a shop and that of a mosque, right? And they refused to leave the place. Actually, the eviction was given a month ago, actually, and they refused to leave. And then, according to reports, the court now reached out to the chief imam of Liberia to try to help them to, evict those people without causing any violence. And according to the imam, he called the two parties and talked to them, and the two parties agreed. Even the person that was, how do you call it, legally, ordered to leave the premise, he also agreed to leave the premise without, revolting, especially physically, right? With that being said, when the eviction got ready, by the time they got there, the people refused to leave the building. As a matter of fact, they had all kinds of weapons, ready, trying to fight back the eviction or whatever, right? Which was actually a very stupid move to begin with. You cannot fight law enforcement officers, especially when it comes to, strength or whatever. So there were about 11, 12 people in the building there, according to the report. But by the time the police got there, other angry crowds were already there waiting to participate in the eviction process, which was also another dumb, stupid thing to do. But when the police came, the people started throwing stones. The people who were in the building, they started throwing stones to try to deter the police from entering into the building, right? And, the angry crowd that was standing outside, they started to retaliate by throwing also stones at the people in the building, which was all stupid altogether, right? And the police, later on got hands on the people who got into the building and arrested the people. But by the time they bringing them outside, they got violated, beaten, along the way, bringing them outside, putting them on the car to try to take them to the police station or whatever. They got violated, they got beaten, they got, so much, how do you call it, bruises and wounds on them. Yeah, Uncle Lucini Ducle, welcome in. Thank you so much. Thank you. You are welcome in. Welcome in for the comments. That's my uncle right there. I see Lucini Ducle, Lucini Dollar, sorry. But yeah, so they finally got them to the station or whatever. Obviously, oh man, my network be messing me out. My network is always messing me up. Please don't do me like this tonight. I'm telling you. But anyway, after after everything, the chief imam came out, and explained the whole story, and but he refused to condemn the police for doing anything bad whatsoever. My problem with everything that was there was, number one, the journalists did not report the news very well. They were saying all kinds of bad stuff or whatever. They were just stereotyping everything, blaming the Muslim and the Madingo people for everything. It was really bad from the journalist standpoint. They were not reporting anything. They all were being biased. And I believe that the police should be condemned 100% because they allow the angry crowd to participate in the eviction process, which it has never happened anywhere. for angry crowd to participate in eviction process. No organization is stronger in Liberia than the government of Liberia. If the government of Liberia cannot evict 11 people out of a house, then what kind of government do we have? We don't have a government, do we? So the reason, Ambassador Emmanuel Kekula, how are you doing, my brother? Welcome in. You see, watching the Saturday edition of the show in Banga Bonkante. Yes, that is one of our reporter right there. One of our main reporter in Bonkante Banga, Ambassador Emmanuel Kekula. Welcome in. Please help to share the show in different places, right? But my problem with the police was that they failed to stop the angry crowd from participating in the eviction process. They failed to stop the angry crowd from throwing stones, the same crime that they are accusing the obstructors of justice of, rightfully so. But yet the angry crowd was standing right beside them and committing the same crime, and they never stopped them, right? So also I'm condemning and asking the imam to condemn the police people for failing to protect the people they just arrested. If you arrest somebody, you put them in cuff. They can fight for themselves. They can protect themselves. Then you carrying them through crowd and everybody beating on them, knocking on their heel with sticks and all that stuff. That is warrant a condemnation, 100%. Again, like I said, nowhere in Liberia where eviction process has been, performed or carried out by angry crowd or civilians who have no, who has no obligation, responsibility, legal responsibility to participate in those processes. So these are the reasons I believe that, the police warrant, condemnation, at least, to say the least, right? In other places, like if God forbid, I would never be part of the group that were in the building refusing to leave. I would never ever, refuse or obstruct justice because I know better than that. But even if I was there, God forbid, and I get violated at that by angry mob, I swear to my living God, by the time I come outside, I'm going to sue the police of Liberia, 100%. And I will definitely win. This is a winnable case, clear. Yes, I agree that I was in the building that I'm not supposed to be in, 100%. But you also arrested me and you failed to protect me. You allow angry mob to mob me. And so that is definitely, I can win that case. I can sue you. I can sue the entire Liberia National Police in the court of law, and I will definitely win. They will try to delay as much as possible, but I will definitely win. And these are some of the things we have to understand. Liberians, yes, the police work for us, but we can also sue the police if they do something bad, if they go wrong. And this is why when they come and tell us you are under arrest, we don't need to fight them. If they want to do something bad, don't fight. Just put your hand up. Right? If they do their bad thing, from there you can go sue them, right? So I believe the chief imam was just angry. He was angry that the people did not listen to him. He advised the people to listen to him, but they did not listen to him. And because of that, he just, went on air and started talking all kinds of things, all kinds of divisive statements. Now you have a bunch of people out there demanding his resignation from the Muslim council or, as the chief imam of Liberia, because you can be the chief imam of Liberia and the same rhetoric that, ignorant, unprofessional journalists were using and idiotic, angry crowd were using. You also jump on that same shape and start using that same thing. We're talking about, why is the Mandingo people always, trying to make themselves to be the sole custodian of Islam in Liberia? You think that responsibility rests people should, we just want it. We have been prosecuted. We have been prosecuted and executed in Liberia for years just for being Muslims. Just for being Muslim. Throughout the war, that 14-year civil war, a lot of us, we come from villages that in our village, the people attempted to eliminate everybody in our villages just because they were Muslims. 100%. Why? Mandingo is the only tribe in Liberia that 100% of the population are Muslims. 100% of the population of Mandingo are Muslims in Liberia, right? This is the reason why, the people are already, the people who are not Muslim, they're already, angry at us. They're already fighting us, right? They're already fighting the Muslim and the Mandingo, meaning. I remember when we were growing up, now we growing up. Let's just say that early 2007, 8, like that. The Pakistani, the Afghanistani, was it Afghanistan? I think that was Pakistan and Bangladeshi army, UN soldiers that were there in Liberia. Our friends used to call them Madingo women because they used to pray like Madingo people. Children, people used to call them Madingo women. Why do you think that is? You think we are the one telling them, say, anybody that pray Madingo? No. But any Madingo man they see, they now need to ask Madingo man, what religion do you subscribe to? They already automatically know that the Madingo man is a Muslim man. But the chief imam of Liberia being a crime man said, it really surprised me. Right? I never thought the chief imam was a crime man. Never, ever in my life until I saw him talking. So that one alone can tell you the reason, one of the main reasons why Madingo people get prosecuted and executed just for being Madingo and Muslims in Liberia. Because 100% of our tribe are all Muslim automatically. If you say this man is a Madingo man, trust me, the man is a Muslim. If he's not a Muslim, then he never grew up with his parents. Maybe he grew up with somebody else who was not a Muslim. That's what I'm saying. But Madingo people that grew up with Madingo people, they are all Muslim, 100%. So the chief imam was angry and he refused to condemn yes, the police for their malicious behavior and their unprofessional, how they call it, unprofessional way of doing things. 100%. So we move on. We're not going to waste too much time on it because at the end of the day, I'm happy that everything is said and done. And the people have been arrested. The police have carried out their responsibility, even though they could have done a better job. And I saw Spoon TV putting out, a statement saying that they're looking for, how do you call it, journalists. You don't have to have any degree or whatsoever, but if you have the inspiration, you have the motivation, they can train you. They put out a lot of vacancy out there. Right after that eviction process happening, after we came out, we condemned their journalists because if you watch our video, we specifically directed most of our condemnation to the journalists of Spoon TV and those major news networks in Liberia. And right after that, I think about 2 days after that, Spoon TV put out a vacancy saying that they're looking for journalists. And I know they're definitely going to try to start, training their journalists and start telling them what to do when they are in a field, reporting. You can be in a field reporting saying that, oh, the Madingo people are against the civilian. You see that sort of football game you reporting on is stupid, right? But anyway, moving on. The next topic, that we're going to discuss tonight. Again, this is what we are saying. I'm talking here. Anybody have any question? You can either ask your question in the comment, or there is a link that I just put in the comment. I'm going to put it there again. You can take that link, you paste it. You can copy that link and then go paste it in your browser. And then it will and press search, and then it will bring you right here, and then you will appear live on the screen, and then we can start talking, right? So, guys, that is that. And the second thing that we're going to be discussing here is what? Just a second. The second thing we're going to be discussing here is the new NTA buses, that got dedicated by President, Joseph Numa Boakai a couple of days ago, right? We have had so many, mixed reaction regarding these buses. Brand new, 35 new buses, got bought and brought into Liberia to make transport easier because the roads in Liberia are getting better. The roads in Liberia are getting better, according to reports, and people who are living in those areas. People from Maryland keep, praising the road condition, saying that the road is very, very good. As a matter of fact, the transportation fare has been significantly reduced, and because of that, the president sees to it that a lot of which were already old, right? Oh, you're sorry, my network keep blinking, right? This is Africa now. But again, there are a lot of base reaction. There have been videos that have been reduced. I mean, how do you call it? Posted online by a lot of news media. With people showing mixed reactions. About the bosses. Some people are celebrating, saying that the president is the best president in the world. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. Thank you, President Boakai. May God, give you long life. You will live long, and You will see through your second term, you know, and while the other people are saying that that boss will eat, and you know, that boss will eat, you come and give up boss, and some of them even going as taking pictures and video of some of the bosses that are leaning towards its side a little bit. So you know, there are a lot of different mixed reaction, right? And the main thing that I take from this is that Liberians, again, me are not going passing around going post to say, oh, we not get a fine new boss. Come on, man. It's not that big of a deal. But at the end of the day, it's a good step. It's a positive step to something, right? 100%. So if something like that happened, instead of you being appreciative, right? Instead of you being positive about it, because it is always important for us to come together. You know, we find more reason why we should come together than for us to start fighting over something. I'm telling you, like 100%. What should we be doing? Should we come together or should we start fighting? And what do I mean by this? Any small little thing that happened, instead of you being appreciative or instead of you finding something positive to say about it, you rather say something negative about it. Because why? This is not your government, or this is not the government that you elected. Well, newsflash, whether you voted for UP or not, this is your government. Whether you elected this government or not, this is your government. Majority of the Labrador population elected this government, right? So for the next 6 years, it's your government. If something good happened, give them their credit. If something bad happened, criticize them constructively. You know what I mean? So this is how we become better. The moment we elect somebody, whether we think the person is capable or not, for the next 6 years, unless there is a disaster and something happened, the person lost his or her life, which I don't pray forever, on anybody, right? So unless that one happen, we're gonna have to what? Appreciate this person that is in power up until they can finish their term. And as we appreciate it, we are criticizing at the same time. We watch them in close proximity. You understand what I'm saying? But to just be like, oh, man, and it's small, oh, that one will eat, eh? Oh, that thing will eat, that boss will eat. And you have to understand, you will not eat boss, but it is a small upgrade. In some sectors, it's a small upgrade. There was an old man who was in the bus saying that I pay $50 now to go to town. Usually we used to pay $200, $250, but now we pay $50 to go to town, right? So these things are all part of it, right? These things are all part of it. You appreciating the government, on their little, how do you call it, accomplishments. It's part of, it's part of being a Liberian. It's part of being a advice out there. The 35 new buses is not a huge hell of a deal, but it's a deal. Like it's a step forward. It's a step upward, right? So we should always be appreciative, even for the small little things that happen. To say, oh yeah, it might not be a big deal, but it's an upgrade. So yeah, that is good. You don't have to jump and then think about it. There might be some other people that might be a little bit more excited than you. But yeah, you should be like the same thing when George Weah, build the, how to call it, how to call that park, the, how to call it, Unification Park or whatever. It was not a big deal. It is not a big deal, but it was an upgrade, right? It was an upgrade. So real people, real patriotic Liberian, they don't have to jump and dance for the Unification Park, but they will say, yeah, this is something that is good. Imagine if we have 50 or 60 or 70 of that Unification Park in Liberia, right? This is how we dream Liberia will be one day, right? But anyway, moving on. Again, on that note, my advice is just be, after every little accomplishment from the government, be appreciated. There is, I'm so sorry for that language. I thought I was offline. My network is bugging me out, and I'm getting angry. I shut to go. I don't like it when I'm online. Then the network keep blinking. But yeah, um, yeah, like a couple of days ago or a couple of weeks ago, when the people were in the street, rallying, campaigning against the use and addiction of drugs. other people were out there, provoking them and mocking them, saying that, oh, you're on the street, you're jumping up and down on the street, you're campaigning against drug use, but you'll get weed in your air now. Like, come on, bro. I'm talking about prominent member of society. I'm talking about people like Dench, a big musician, one of my favorite Liberian musicians of all time. But when you say something like that, I'm like, this guy is actually really stupid. He doesn't understand what we're doing here, bro. We're trying to revive Liberia. Liberia is like a sinking ship, especially when it comes to drug addiction. And the people out here raising awareness, telling people to stay away from drugs and use. You sitting there behind your keyboard, you mocking and saying that they get weed in their air now while they campaigning. What's wrong with you? Oh no, because they're not job, we are in power. Are you that stupid? You know what I mean? Like, you got to relieve yourself from that kind of mentality that somebody have to be in power. Doesn't matter who is in power, whether you voted for them or not. You can say participate positively and even constructively, negatively, which is the constructive criticism. You criticize the president in a constructive manner, 100%, right? So we move on. The number 3 topic we discussed today is the Liberia National Fire Service, coming to the rescue of the, the headquarters of the Lone Star set caught on fire some part of a couple of days ago, actually, and the fire service was there. So the Lone Star, cell MTN Liberia released a statement, thanking the fire service, quick reaction, how they call it, method or approach that saved them the day, 100%. And when I saw this, I was intrigued. I was really find that it's very, very responsive, like a response in a very, very short period of time. I remember the first time I really started getting wind of their responsiveness was when former President George Weah house in Congo Town caught on fire. According to the report, they were there within the next 6 minutes. So I was like, wow, okay, it might not be. I mean, that is within Monrovia. That is good. I mean, at least that is Congo Town, not far from their headquarters anyway. But that was a very good responsive, response time, 100%. Because I don't remember, fire service being that very quick to react, in any time back. Yeah. But yeah, that was good, and that just come to show that we are making some improvements, especially in our fire service department, and that is good. Hopefully, we can be able to make more improvement in other places as well, right? So yeah, with no further ado, we move on. Number 4 on the list is the late Matthew Mulba case, right? Murder case. I'm calling it a murder case now because I believe in my book, Matthew Mulba was murdered. We all remember the gentleman who was mentally unstable, and his people was trying to take him to a mental hospital, but he was increasingly getting violent, and they decided to call the police to help them to take Matthew to the hospital. But when the police came, everything turned violent. According to the police, Matthew had a knife in his pocket, and he pulled out a knife and stabbed one of the police officers in the thigh, and he sliced one of the police officers on the arm. So in a response, the third police officer pulled out a gun and shot Matthew a couple of times, right? Some reports say 7 times, some reports say 8 times, right? So when the case broke out, or when the news broke out, when I read the report, I was like, oh, okay, this is understandable, because the report said that Matthew was mentally ill, and even Matthew parents, Matthew friends and relatives, they all saying that yes, Matthew was mentally ill. That is why, I said that, okay, yes, I understand the police for retaliating, because they were trying to get hold of somebody who was not mentally stable upstairs. And officers with the third one did not wait for a moment. The third one did not wait to be stabbed, so he pulled out his gun and shot Matthew, bringing Matthew down to neutralization, position. You were laying down on the ground, neutralized, right? So again, after we finish making all that stuff, we say all the our condolences to Matthew and Matthew family. You know, a couple of days ago, Matthew mother, Ma Lisa Boyd, came to us. You know, wrote us on her talk saying that she has some evidence she wants to show us for us to, show the world, show Liberia that Matthew was not, killed by the police. Matthew was murdered. And beside Matthew being murdered, the police chief, Gregory Coleman, has been dodging her everywhere she goes. She has been trying to see Gregory Coleman since her son got murdered by the police, but Gregory Coleman has refused to, pay any attention to her, right? And she also said that she has not, the police have to have access to her son Bali since her son got killed on November, was it October the 8th, last month, right? She was only able to see her son Bali on November 13th. So from October 8th to November, that's more than a month. More than a month, she was not allowed to see her son Bali, right? So we got the evidence and we posted the evidence. If you want to see the evidence, you can definitely go ahead. Let me see if I can even share the evidence. I don't know if you'll be able to play though. Let me see if I can able. Let me see. Let me see. I should be able to share the evidence here. Just be patient with me, yeah. I should be able to share the evidence here. But yeah, man, it was the evidence that the woman shared with us. My Lisa Boyd shared with us. It is very, very how do you call it? Devastating evidence, to be frank. I swear, a devastating video. When I saw that video, I was like, whoa, so this really happened? Okay, here is the video. Here is the video. This is the video. Right? You already playing. Okay. That is the video. You see? You see? That guy standing there, he's going to kick Matthew in the head. You see? So Matthew is laying down on the floor. Let me pause it. Let me pause it. Come on, pause now, my man. Yo, who didn't want to be technical? But yeah, the guy that is standing in the let me play this. Okay. If you can see from this angle, Matthew is laying down right on the floor. That is the white shirt on him. Come on, pause. Okay. Matthew is lying down right on the floor. You see that guy that's standing right over him with the jean trouser and the stupid sneaker that he's wearing. So Matthew has already been shot in this position multiple times, right? He's already neutralized. He's laying down in a pool of blood, and he has his hand cuffed, right? And this guy standing over him with a gun in his hand, and he's about to kick Matthew in the head. This is the one that got me really, really devastated because when I saw the video, I was like, whoa, the guy is already neutralized. Why are you still kicking him in the head? So let's just play it so that you see it. That's the most important part, right? Let me yeah, I don't want no sound here. Ah, imagine our network is giving her a problem, then we want to play video. Isn't this funny? What is happening? The video is not even playing, but it's playing. Wow. Well, I always knew that this was not going to be a good idea. I don't know why even I tried to go through it. The video is not playing from my own end. I don't know if it is playing from you guys' end. Um, but yeah, let me just pause it. This is crazy. Oh my god! I think my computer is freezing. It's frozen. You gotta be kidding me, man! Come on, man. Uh, wow, that is crazy. Okay, I guess we are back. So you see the guy standing right on top of him. That is Matthew laying down in a pool of blood. And the guy is standing right on top of him with a gun in his hand, with that beast nigga on his foot. So he literally end up, how do you call it? Um, Kicking Matthew in the head. Why Matthew is laying down on the floor? That is a crime. You kicking the man in the head when he's already arrested, kicking him in the head when he's already arrested, right? That is a crime. After all, you already finished shooting the man multiple times. You have shot him multiple times. He is in a pool of blood, and you're kicking him in the head. A lot of these people, they get anger issue. You get people that are working in the government that get anger issue. Let me move it here from the screen. I think you're giving me a hard time. Okay. You get people in the government that get anger issue. Move it in here move from studio. Why did I, that try to make things, somewhat technically good, but now it's causing more problems. My computer is freezing. Oh, this is crazy. Come on, man. Let's get this over with. My computer is freezing here with me, so I don't know how it is going on with you guys there. But yeah. I don't know if you guys are screen, which is not good. Come on, I shouldn't have shared this video. I should have just continued. I was not able to share the video, and now my computer is frozen. That's crazy. Come on. Anyway, I think I'm just gonna continue talking. Hopefully, you guys are hearing me. Um, if anybody's watching, right? Okay. I think I'm back. I should be. Please, can you put it in the comment section? Yes, if you can at least hear me. Oh, okay. Okay. I think you can hear me. I'm frozen, but yeah, that was a bad idea. Throwing the screen, that was not a good idea at all. But yeah, Matthew was murdered, right? Um, you can see in the video he's being kicked in the head, right? After he was arrested, after he was cuffed, he was kicked in the head multiple times, dragged from the room all the way outside for whatever reason. Why would you drag somebody? Why would you kick somebody in the head when you already finished shooting the person 3, 4, 5 times, right? And the person is laying down in the pool of blood. You already finished arresting them. They in cuff, but you still basically kicking them in the head, right? So these are all problems. Yeah, my screen is frozen and I don't know how to unfreeze it. This is not good at all. Oh my God. Oh yes. Yeah, I suppose we are back. That is nice. That is much better. Wow, that was crazy. Just because I tried to share a video on the screen, everything went ballistic. But yeah, man, Matthew was murdered. Matthew was killed. And that is just the fact. As you can see in that video, he is being kicked in the head by this officer who uh, who is standing on top of him with a gun in his hand right there. I can believe that officer think that he is in a movie or something, right? So, Marlisa Boyd, the mother of the late Matthew, sent all that video, and I had not seen that video at all. And this is what we are talking about. If you are a police officer, or if you are any type of public officer, that we trust you with our lives and property, why the hell do you think you have a gun in your hand with bullet inside? Because we trust your expertise. We trust your professionalism. If we get you going and put bullet inside, then you start passing around like Rambo or Commando. What's wrong with you? And a lot of police officers in Labrador really think that they are Rambo and Commando. This is why they pass around threatening people's lives. all day. The LeBron. This is a terrible day. This is a terrible day in the office for sure. The internet is not giving me any chance. But like I was saying, I'm asking the Liberian government to investigate this case, which I know they will not do. They will not investigate the case. The police are the worst in Liberia. They will not investigate the case. So, but I will still go ahead and ask them because that is my constitutional right as well. Like, yo, get them aware of exactly what happened. We have all seen the video. The guy is literally kicking Matthew when Matthew have already multiple bullet in his body, in his system. He lay down in a pool of blood, and the guy kicking him in the head, literally attempting to kill a man who poses no threat at that moment in time. Right? That is a crime right there. That is a crime 100%. And if the government does not do anything about it, it's going to be a huge the red mark in their report card. And I'm also calling out to Lisa Board not to let this case go. If they give you, whenever they give you your somebody, go and son. You run behind the mayor to give you report. Don't run behind him anymore. Don't run behind the global government guy to give you any more information that you already not know. Just when they give you your son remains, take your son remains and bury him, and and grieve, and do the necessary rituals that you're supposed to do, and then sue the government, sue the police of Liberia 100%. I believe you have a very huge chance. This particular video here is exhibit number one. Is the number one evidence you get to show that yes, Matthew Mulba was not just killed by police operation, he was murdered. If you show the video to any court with the police officer standing on top of Matthew living body, who is in cuff, who has multiple bullets in him, and at the same time kicking Matthew in the head while he lay down in a pool of blood, to my record, case is over. Case is over. 100%. Take this case to court, Lisa. Take this particular case to court. Sue the police of Liberia. That is my advice to you. Right? Because that's the only time they will take it serious. This thing happening, everybody taking it to be like this at phone. Sue the police. You have to sue them 100%. So, with no further ado, again, my view on this particular, case here has already changed. I believe that the police murdered Matthew Mulba, 100%. I believe. Was Matthew a threat? Yes, he was a threat. But there are so many ways to neutralize a threat. He was not having a gun; he had a knife. If you had shot him in his legs, he would have been neutralized very, very easily. If you had shot him in the hand, he would have been neutralized, right? Very, very easily. You went ahead and shot him multiple times, right? And then after you had shot him multiple times, he's on the ground, you cuff him. After finish cuffing him, then you basically kicking him in the head. How many more crimes can you commit in one spot? You know what I mean? So my advice to my Lisa Boyd is that please go ahead and sue the police of Liberia. The fact that they refuse to give you any information about what happened, the fact that they refuse you from seeing your son for more than a month after they have killed your son, and the fact that you get the particular video that is showing a police officer kicking Matthew, your son, neutralized, living body laying down on the ground, in cuff in a pool of blood, and they basically kicking him in the head. That is an attempted murder. That guy that did that kicking, trust me, he will not just go to jail. He will spend decades in jail for doing that. That is an attempted murder. As a matter of fact, the guy, Matthew, died in the process. They think Matthew put him in a pickle. Who knows what they did to the man on the way moving from the house to the hospital? Because that's also on the pickle. Even on everybody, they basically kicking the man in the head while the man bleeding out. Imagine they put the man in the pickle trying to take the man to the hospital. What did they do to him on the way going? I only God know, right? So, my Lisa Boyd, my advice is go ahead and sue the police of Liberia. I swear to God, you need to sue the police of Liberia. I will say this multiple times so that you get to hear it. You need to sue the police of Liberia. Take them to court. Go sue them for murdering your son. You have clear evidence that show that if they have intention of murdering Matthew, and the fact that Matthew was mentally ill, that excuse or that reason is not an excuse because it's real. That reason there, it can be used, Matthew personality to demonize Matthew personality because Matthew has no criminal record. He has never been arrested or been to jail whatsoever, no criminal record whatsoever. So the only bad thing they can say about him so that people would not question it is that, oh, but the man was crazy, oh, the man was not to his say. Because in most cases, once you say that, oh, Matthew was crazy, Matthew was not to his say, people will say, oh, yeah, okay, the man was not to his say. They had to brutalize him because the man was going to do more damage. But at the same time, you can also use Matthew on instability or Matthew mental instability, as a reason for the police to have been more careful with their handling of Matthew's case, because we learned that people with mental disability supposed to be, taken way more cautiously, right, when you are dealing with them, compared to people that have mental stability. If somebody is now up, right in the mental state, you have to be careful around them. When you put multiple bullets in a man that is said not to be, stable in the mental state, right? And then after cuffing him, you basically kicking him in the same head that is not mental in. Are you really mental? You the person that is doing that, are you mentally stable? You know what I mean? So I think Lisa Boyd has a very, very good case here. 100%. I think she has a very good case if she sued the police of Liberia. This is the only way she will get some type of closure. To sue the police of Liberia, sue Gregory Coleman for not doing his job. Because the government, nobody is calling him out. No news network is trying to even broadcast it. And I understand because when that thing happened, the opposition leaders, CDC men, Jefferson Koji and Mulba Mulu, they wake up and start politicizing the whole thing. They don't even understand that anything they put their money, everybody can get stay away from here and there. And they politicize the whole thing. That'll make everybody stay away from it because those 2 minutes did not get nothing sound coming from in their mouth going towards the government. Anything they're talking about the government have to be bad. The only time they not talk something about the government was the time that the government, got a Liberian visa extension in the United States, US visa extension from 1 year to 3 years. That's the only time they came outside and said, yeah, well, that was some type of, achievement, whatever. Because why? They are directly benefiting from that. But the common Liberian who can even pay their transport or even hardly pay their transport from Monrovia to their, region, they don't care about American visa extension. Like they know that most of them might not even get a chance of ever going to America ever. Well, how can that be, an achievement for them, right? But for Mulba Mulu, definitely that was definitely something good, for achieving. So this particular case, Lisa Boyd, I'm going to say for the last time for today, sue the police of Liberia for the death of your son Matthew Mulba because they murdered him. They murdered Matthew Mulba and you have it on video. And Matthew Mulba was mentally unstable. These are your cases. Any FICI lawyer can win this case. If I say you don't even need no lawyer to win this particular case, I'm telling you, this is a home run. And the fact that they made Gregory Coleman back dodging you since the day anything happened, the fact that they have denied you from seeing your son body, while they basically wasted to JFK with you. While they basically going to JFK, standing in front of the hospital with candlelight in solidarity of their police officer that got stabbed in the process, it's hypocrisy. Oh my God, come on, man. Wow. What kind of internet is it? It's hypocrisy, like I was saying. It's hypocrisy. You have killed somebody. You refuse the present parent to see their body. Why you basically going to stay in front of the hospital, for someone that got, a cut on their arm and the other one got stabbed in the thigh, right? These are police officers, the men that swore, they swore to protect our life and property with their life, and they're getting paid for it every day. And they get some stab wound. The entire police, how to call it, they're going to take 200-300 police officers to go stand in front of, JFK with candlelight. What kind of, who did everything that show now? The whole police department of Liberia just become social media police. Just recently, the Israeli, all kind of news coming from there, saying that they got maltreated or they got treated like, unprofessional. You have a police officer whose sole duty is to make sure that Gregory Coleman is on camera at all time. He's on Facebook at all time. So you don't care who he's standing behind or who he's standing with. You'll be standing behind the people, vice president, right neck to neck. Somebody got to come and grab him by his trouser. To try what he's doing. He's busy trying to. My network today is a mess. He's busy trying to take pictures of his how do you call it, of his inspector general. This is crazy. Again, I will say one last time for tonight, my Lisa Boyd, please go sue the police of Liberia for the murder of your son Matthew Mulba. 100% I believe that you will win the case if you do it. And that is the only way, that is the main way, the only way that I know that you can get some type of closure, some type of justice, 100%, and some type of recognition from the government, from the president. What happened to your son should not happen to anybody at all. And, anyway, but moving on. Number 5 on the list, which is a little bit away from Liberia, 25 schoolgirls was kidnapped in Nigeria, Kwara State. 4 o'clock in the morning, right at the school, a boarding school. Some unknown gunmen just appeared out of nowhere and kidnapped 25 schoolgirls, and now they are demanding 100 million Nigerian naira for each of them, right? And this, of course, happened after Donald Trump just came out, a couple of weeks ago, saying that if Nigeria does not do more to fight terrorism, they will try to, they will, how do you call it? First of all, they will cut all the aids that they have been given to Nigeria, and they will also try to intervene. Trump saying that he will try to intervene where you see a lot of Nigerians, Christians, and even not Nigerian Christians, even Liberian Christians who are saying that, oh yeah, let Trump go to Nigeria. The Muslim people, they deserve something like that, and of course, I know for a fact that if America, ever, go to Nigeria in the name of saving the Nigerian people from terrorism or whatever, I believe it's going to definitely end very, very bad for Nigeria. This is what I believe, 100%. But at the same time, this whole Boko Haram terrorism has been existing in Nigeria, and now it has extended almost all over in Africa. I remember there was a time when we never used to hear of terrorism in Africa, except for Boko Haram in Nigeria. They were very, very insignificant. But all of a sudden now you have terrorists in Burkina Faso, you have terrorists in Mali, you have terrorists in Niger, like you have terrorists in all these places. In Sudan, you have terrorists in Libya, you have terrorists in like all these places that have had, some type of conflict, with the West. All these countries that I just called, they have some type of argument, disagreement with the West. All of a sudden, magically, they have terrorists in their states, in their countries. We have saw the Sahel states, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, how furious and how combative and how, defiant they have been in the face of the Western world. And all of a sudden, all of their countries have terrorism in their countries. They have terrorist groups in their countries already, right? And the Christians of Africa are saying that, oh yeah, America, please come save us. Saying that, the American government is saving the Christians, right? Saying that, thinking that the American government is saving the Christians in Israel, which is a whole different case. I don't want to get into it. It's a whole topic that if you start talking about it today, you're not even finished talking about it. In Israel, in favor of Christians or whatever. As a matter of fact, the American involvement in Israel war has caused more Christians' lives than any, right? Because you have to understand, Israel is not a Christian nation; it's a Jewish nation. There are even more Muslims in Israel than Christian. Population in Israel is Jew, and the second one is Muslims. You know, Christians are about maybe 2 or 3% of the population of in Israel. Muslims are about 20. So yeah, they are not fighting for Christians in Israel. They are fighting Nigeria. Keep taking the marketplace, everybody in the town, sending a message that anybody. Again, guys, I'm sorry again. I'm very, very sorry. This is ridiculously getting boring and stupid for real. My internet has destroyed me today. The internet has betrayed me for sure. But yeah. Um, so yeah, like I was saying, man, a lot of terrorism have been happening in West Africa. And I'm not asking the United States government to do anything, but again, they don't need my permission to do anything. They have been causing chaos in anybody's permission to do it. So regardless of what I say or do, is not going to affect anything. But I'm just giving my opinion. If they ever go to Nigeria, they are definitely going to leave Nigeria in ruins. And how do I know that? Well, look at all the other places they have banned in the name of saving the people, right? All these places, I don't have to call their names. You go on Google right now and go search it. All the places that, the United States have been trying to save the people. When they left, what have happened? Usually when they leave, the people that they were fighting becomes the people that becomes they becomes the rulers, they becomes the leaders, they become the government of that country, right? You talk about it, Afghanistan, you have the Al Qaeda. Was it Al Qaeda? Yes. No, the Taliban in Afghanistan, and then you have in Iraq Al Qaeda, you have in Syria ISIS, and so many other places, right? And everywhere they go, it's just happening that way. Anybody that they fight against, at the end of the day, that person becomes the leader or the government of that country. So now you see that Boko Haram is the one that have been terrorizing, Nigeria, northern Nigeria to be specific, for the longest period of time. And if America come in the name of, fighting Boko Haram, who knows? By the time they leave, Boko Haram might be in charge, right? And again, I don't support nobody in their right mind will ever support terrorism 100%. Those people, I hate them, despise them to the gods. I'm tired of them. Like I said earlier, I'm really, really tired of terrorism in Africa. People are suffering, and you have these grown men just mask their faces and come and take children and do whatever they want to do with them. You imagine horrible, horrible things. There was a news the other day. I think, I forgot the place name, somewhere in northern Nigeria as well, where they went and slaughtered a lot of people, about 200 people. Like, come on, man. Nobody wants these things to keep happening over and over. So, again, I don't know why Nigeria has not been able to deal with this problem swiftly. I have no idea. But I have a strong belief that if Nigeria really wanted to, or if Nigeria have really wanted to deal with this problem, they would have dealt with it a long time. Nigeria is one of the strongest countries militarily in Africa, economically in Africa. So you want to tell me that they are not able to, neutralize a group of, how many thousand men anyway? Like, come on, man, wage real war, you know. And we have this good for nothing organization called the African Union. I don't even know why they are there. You have the African Union. Wow, what is the unity about? Like, if we can come together to fight, a common enemy. You have, Central Africa today. The Central of Africa has been terrorized by terrorism, like for the longest. From Central Africa all the way going to North Africa, all these countries have terrorist groups now in the countries. Like, come on, what is that? And we have the mighty African Union, talk less of the ECOWAS, one of the useless, organizations in the world. Like, I don't even know why the reason that they got created in the first place. Absolutely no reason. I have an ECOWAS passport, but if I move from here, if I move from my country and go to another country like Ghana or Nigeria, I need a visa. I need a stamp, stamp on my passport. Every month I need a stamp. I have to go to the immigration to get a stamp on my passport every month. But we all have the same passport, ECOWAS passport. Oh yeah, the ECOWAS. We are part of the same team. What is that? I'm still in West Africa, but I'm being treated worse than I would be treated even if I was out of Africa. If I go to Europe, right, and I'm living there, I wouldn't be required to go to the immigration every month to get a stamp. No, I won't be. I can get a permit to stay in the country. I can get a visa, but every month I have to go to the immigration to get a stamp in my passport. Like, what kind of world? What is that? Africans are being tortured in their own homeland. You are in Africa, but you are being treated like a stranger more than even when you are abroad. Do you know the kind of system we are in today, Africans? We are suffering more than anybody. A stranger, a complete stranger, can come into Africa and be treated more respectfully than you, and be welcomed more respectfully than you, the African guy. We have all these foolish organizations for nothing put together. The terrorism is deteriorating our societies and our stupid system that we have set up everywhere, saying that, oh, we have the economic state of West Africa. Economic state of West Africa. What are we doing really? Oh, they just celebrated the 50-year anniversary of ECOWAS. What have you guys been doing? Celebrating 50 years. What have you done for the past 50 years? We still are not being able to move freely. We, the human beings, we are not able to move freely in West Africa alone. Talk less of commodities. Talk less of goods. Moving goods from one country to another. Let the human being move freely. This is why I believe the animals in this world today, they are living better freedom. They have better freedom in the animal world than in the human world. The animal can move from one place to the next without needing visa or passport or whatsoever, no questions asked. But we, the human beings, oh my God, you can't try it. You need a passport. And if you show a passport, oh my God, you're done. Every month, living in Ghana, you have to go to the immigration every month to get your passport stamp. Are you out of your mind? Like, what is that? I'm not even traveling, but every day I'm losing a page in my passport. It's crazy, right? You go to Europe, it's not like that. If you're going to stay for 1 year, you get your 1 year permit, it's over, it's over. And I'm not even from Europe. So these are the things. We have big organizations in Africa that are supposed to be protecting us, but they are not doing absolutely nothing. The African Union, the ECOWAS, and all the other organizations, they are doing absolutely nothing. So if Trump brings his big army and his guns and whatever, he might be able to defeat Boko Haram, but he's going to do worse than what Boko Haram has been doing. A lot of people are going to lose their life 100%, and Nigeria is going to lose a big chunk of its natural resources, and its economy is going to solely depend on America, which is a very, very bad thing to do. So anyway, moving on, right? Number 6 on the list, Eswatini received millions, about $5 million for accepting to receive, deportees from the United Nations. I'm not saying from the United Nations, from the United States. I'm sorry. So this brought something to my attention, like the countries that the United States approach regarding deporting deportees into. Eswatini is definitely one of them, and South Sudan is one of them, Uganda is one of them, Ghana is one of them, Liberia is one of them, right? And Eswatini has been, has confirmed that yes, they receive about $5 million United States dollars to sign that deal, and it brings to my attention, like, what did Liberia do? right? And I talked about it, in one of our segments. Um, like what kind of deal did Liberia sign, for America to, to agree with America to bring deportees into Liberia? And the government, the foreign minister, and the president came out and said that, oh yeah, they have accepted the America deal. As a matter of fact, they will be receiving Armando Abrego Garcia, the El Salvadorian fella that was supposed to be deported from the United States, right? For whatever reason, they can't report him. I mean, they can't deport him to his home country, but they have to. They can deport him, or they were trying to deport him anywhere else. And Liberia was the one that put their hands up, like, yeah, we will receive it. And I was saying, to what extent? Why? Because Ghana refused that particular guy. Ghana has so many in recent times. So as Eswatini and South Sudan and all. So as Eswatini, South Sudan, and all those places. But this fellow, this Armando Garcia guy, was rejected by all the countries that agreed to sign this contract with America, or this agreement with America. Because why? America is accusing the guy of being a human trafficker. Now, if America is rejecting a human trafficker, and you as a country, you take that human trafficker, it's going to paint you in a bad light on the world stage, in the news, in the headlines. America say that this guy is a human trafficker. You say, yes, bring him into my country. Are you not? Are you not giving credit to the ridiculous statement that was made by President Trump back, that African countries are shithole countries, right? Because he's saying that this guy is a human trafficker and he wants to deport him, and you say, yeah, deport him into my country. So I was saying, like, what did the United States of America promise to give to Liberia for this? And then a couple of days later, the United States Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, came out and said that, the United States have now extended the visa stay of Liberian passport holders from 1 year to 3 years, right? So again, that was one of the reasons. But was there any monetary transaction between the United States and Liberia? Did they give any money? That was not made clear. But it bring it to my attention. It brought this whole thing to my attention because after I saw what Eswatini put out there, Eswatini is saying that they received 5 million United States dollars to sign that contract to receive deportees from the United States of America. What do you think? Do you think that Liberia did the same thing? Do you think that Liberia got some type of monetary transaction to allow America to deport whatever feces that they don't like in their countries into Liberia? Well, the comment section is yours. But yeah, almost coming to the end of our show. Number 7 on the list, CMC finally get the green light. Uh, the uh, citizen movement for change, political party, uh, and it, uh, Musa Hassan ability. Uh, 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 you, you know, Thank you for with me. Today is a horrible day on the internet. I don't even know what to say. I've already expressed my frustration so many times that I don't even know if it's not needed anymore. Anyway, the CMC finally got the CMC finally gets the green light from the government of Liberia, like I was saying, right? They tried to build a bridge, to construct the bridge over the Jaw River in Bon County, and the government came out saying that the CMC is not allowed to start that construction unless they apply for a permit, and they need so and so document to apply for that permit. And in a matter of days, the CMC were able to provide those documents and apply for the permit. And then a couple of days later, the government, through the Ministry of Public Works, came out saying that they cannot give the construction project to CMC because the government already have it or has it or had it in a project, right? Whichever way you want it to go. Which was obviously a lie, and it got a lot of people infuriated, including me. And a couple of days ago, Public Work Minister Roland Lafayette Giddings was in the Parliament, presenting a whole how do you call it case value for this particular project. Valuing the entire project at 1.3 million instead of 500,000 United States dollars that it was previously valued at by the CMC, right? Again, Honorable Musa Hassan got very, 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 very infuriated, especially when he tried to respond, to counter argue, and he was denied by the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker of the House. And what happened? What did not happen? A day later, less than 24 hours later, after Minister Giddings has, valued the entire construction at 1.3 million United States dollars, the Ministry of Public Works released, a statement saying that yes, they have given the contract back to CMC, and now the construction is valued at 518,000 United States dollars. So again, there are a lot of things happening behind closed doors that even the CMC have not been able to talk about, and I'm sure that they will not talk about it because it must have been about it anymore. Just forget about it. Just take the if you want to go do the construction, you go ahead and do it. You don't need to talk about the contract. Maybe that was the deal. I don't know. But yeah, man. So these are the things, right? These are the things that we're talking about. Again, I've always said that the president, the government was never supposed to, try to stop the CMC from, how they call it, doing their project, right? We don't have a lot of people like Musa Hassan Belete in the country. So if the man want to construct bridges for our people, why are you trying to stop him? Are you out of your mind? No serious person. You should never ever do that. You should never ever do that, right? So trying to stop that man constructing a bridge, in Liberia is crazy. It's not a good idea at all. But anyway, they have been given the green light, and they accepted the permit with grace and respect and love and appreciation, which there has always been. And again, congratulations and kudos to Musa Hassan Belete and the Congress. I say the Congress and the Citizen Movement for Change political party, right? This is a very, very good thing that happened. But anyway, moving on swiftly. Second to last of the topic tonight, as President Bouaka opens the National Assembly of Chiefs and Tribal Governors in Banga. This happened yesterday, right? And today also, I think today is the last day. It's supposed to be a 2-day program, where all the tribal chiefs and how do you call it, and tribal governors, assembles in Banga for the first time, and this is about, getting to know the people that you are dealing with at a very, very region, make our people. God, my network is not really, really letting me do anything here today. I sort of go on. But yeah, according to the president, this will help, our people get involved, not just be spectators to their country, leaderships and evolution, everything that is happening in the country. They can't just be a spectator just sitting out watching and hearing it from hearsay, but they should definitely be part of it, and this will bring them closer to the governing process and system of Liberia, which I 100% agree. Again, I keep talking about these things, right? You can say a lot of things about getting people. Joseph Boakar's superpower, 100%. He's getting the people included. When I first heard about this assembly, the assembly of chiefs, tribal chiefs, in how they call it, in Banga, for the first time. This has never happened before. This is the first of many, right? This is the first time ever this ever happened. This is good. So the first thing that crossed my mind was like, oh, maybe Baka is really trying to, get the chiefs involved with his plan, because we just saw him submitted a bill to parliament, the bill that that's supposed to put an end to our cultural practices, where he and his people call the cultural practices harmful cultural practices, right? And then all of a sudden he's calling the tribal chiefs in one place to have a meeting with them, or not just have a meeting with them, have some type of program with them where he will make them understand that they are also part of the leadership process of our country. So I thought that this was going to be like the main topic of discussion. But all the reports that I've been reading, there have been not even one single sentence about, ending cultural practices in Liberia. Not at all. So again, because, I'm one of those people that feel like our cultural practices, I believe 100%, I know for a fact that our cultural practices are not harmful at all. And I stand against that bill, just like many other people out there, many other Liberians and government officials out there. Well, there are a few of us that think that, oh yeah, the practice is harmful and we should get rid of our cultural practices. And some of those people are, is Representative Moema Mensa Briggs. I think that's her name. I don't know which of the constituents that she's representing, but I've seen her multiple times talk about this particular bill, or this our cultural practices as harmful cultural practices. And one of the person that have been very vocal about it is former Miss Liberia Woki Dolo, who has been passing all around, posting all kinds of naked pictures, talking about, oh, we should abolish our cultural practices. Like, I'm like, yo, are you serious? Miss Liberia. The only thing that the children have been able to learn from you after winning Miss Liberia is to dress in painting and jean strings and take pictures and post it online. You telling us that we must abandon our culture, and then we must adapt what kind of culture? The culture that you adapting, like being comfortable inside paintings and taking pictures and posting it online. That kind of culture you want for our children to learn, to get to dive into. You see what I'm saying? So people who are leading this thing, most of them, like, they are not even right upstairs. You are embracing a culture that is not yours, but you demonizing your own. You helping the people to demonize your own culture, right? You calling it harmful. Did somebody force you to take you anywhere? No. They say no, but you might not do the one to your child until your child grow up. Who the hell are you to tell me what to do with my child and what not to do with my child? You telling me how to raise my child? This is that you have to be so rude. You have to be so violently, how to call it, selfish, to tell somebody how to live their life, how to treat, how to raise their children. You know, opposed to how you raise yours. Ain't nobody coming here telling you how to raise your child or whatever. So these people that are talking about some of these things, some of them getting paid and getting pushed by certain people, organizations, to be their ambassadors on some of their agendas or whatever, we don't know. And then they come out and they just start supporting something. They have no idea how impactful, negatively impactful this can be to us in the long run. So again, I've not heard the president talk about it anywhere since he submitted that bill into the parliament, and I know for sure the parliament is going to tear it into pieces. Like, nobody's going to listen to that nonsense. People, this is the way of our people's life. This is the way we have been living for thousands of years. You just want to come out of nowhere to can't change for what, to can't criminalize the people way of life. Able to hear anything like that. I'm happy I've not been able to hear anything like that in this assembly with our people. So yeah, it's a good thing. So far so good, and I'm proud and happy that President Baka is like he does things like a president, assembling the tribal leaders of Liberia. Bro, see pictures, see video from that program. It's so heart melting, like it really representing Liberia to the cultural level, to the traditional level, to the core and local level. Like you see other countries, especially Ghana, most of their program when they come together, you see people going there, they don't dress in suits, they dress in traditional clothes. You see old men and papa and chiefs and kings then. This is how you lead the people. That this is how you make the people feel your presence. You understand what I'm saying? So this particular program that just ended today in Banga, 100% was a good idea. It was a great one, and it was just one of those, ideas that have been, executed or at least actualized by the president of Liberia, President Joseph Numa. And I say congratulations 100%, and I think it was a success not just for the president, but for the entire country, Liberia. So we move on to the last but not the least topic of the night, which is the president. Uh, is it progressive movement of progressive? I mean, movement for progressive change. I think so. Political party. Okay, my network is very, very bad, and we just got to get it to go. Let's just leave it at that. Okay. Okay. Now let me try one more time. Let me try one more time. Simeon Freeman over the months, has been saying so many outlandish statements. And one of the statements he says is that when he ever becomes president, if he ever becomes president, he will turn the executive mansion into a luxury hotel to create more revenue for the country. And I've never heard an outlandish statement from a stand-up bureau in my life compared to that. Like I'm saying, if you have this idea of creating revenue through hotel and tourism and all these things, why do you have to use the executive mansion to create more revenue for the country? Just to say what? I mean, what is he doing? Is he saying these things just to be in the news, or he really means those? Or you really mean it? It was a terrible day today. I'm really sorry. If you have made it this far, then you are very, very strong. I don't know if I can still try to make this happen. Let me try one more time to end this with this, right? Simeon Freeman has been, online, saying all kinds of statements in recent years. I mean, in recent days. Okay, let me do that again. Simeon Freeman has been online in recent days, saying all kinds of outlandish statements, to say the least, right? And one of the statements he said was that if he ever becomes president, he will turn the luxury. I mean, yeah, he will turn the executive mansion into a luxury hotel to create more revenue for the country. And to be frank, I've never heard a stand-up bureau say, an outlandish statement compared to that, right? I mean, if you are so much into tourism, if you so much want to make so much money for Liberia through tourism and hotel and all these things, why can't you build a building, a hotel? But instead you have to use the executive mansion. Like why? I mean, sometimes I can't help but think, does he really mean the things that he's saying, or he's just saying those outlandish things so that he can stay in the news, right? I can't help but just ask. One of the things that he just said recently was that if you become president, you arrest, President Joseph Boakai for, misusing the, public funds. And of course, I know a lot of oppositions are going to agree to this, whatever. And he said that he will try to arrest former President George Manneh Weah as well. Again, I know a lot of people would be like, "Oh yeah, that is true," especially opposition. Arrest, Joseph Boakai for whatever. But again, I'm saying that um, Simeon Freeman, right, the Standard Bureau for MPC, that's supposed to be the Movement for Progressive Change, but I'm making a mistake. I think that he's making those statements just to stay in the news, just to stay on in the spotlight. He doesn't want to move from in the spotlight, But I I doubt that he will ever be president in Liberia. I mean, you can't say never, never say never, you know. You know, but yeah, I doubt that he will be president, especially with this kind of rhetoric, putting out there just like that. I mean, if you are going to accuse somebody of corruption, you're going to have to bring evidence forward. You can't just say that I will do that, I'll do that. Why? How? How are you going to do it? There are a lot of things that, even uh, Joseph Boakai said he has not been able to do. He said before he became president, when I become president, we'll bring a war crime code, we'll do the one, we'll prosecute these people, all the people that are making corruption. And the corruption and prosecution is going on. RF is arresting people, but nobody have been completely convicted yet. Understand what I'm saying? There have been allegations here, and their cases are in progress, but nobody have been convicted yet, right? And especially we have not even reached to, top government officials yet. There are just few people that names are in the news that they have been arrested or whatever, they are going through trial whatsoever. And the economic war crime court or whatever you want to call it to be brought into Liberia. The first time I heard that, I was like, man, that is nonsense. Nobody bring a war crime code in Liberia to judge anybody. Stop it, man. It's not happening. Anybody promise you that thing, just tell them that lie. And George Weah, everybody was expecting that, oh yeah, when George Weah become president, he will arrest Miley. Oh, you go arrest George. Zero. When George Weah became president, how many people did he arrest? Zero. He did not arrest anybody. So, I mean, it can't happen until it happens. That's all I would say. So, when it comes down to it, Simeon Freeman, I mean, he says a lot of statements that will cause people attention. Like, whoa, I've never heard that before. And I don't think that is the way to become president. To become president in Liberia, I think one of the first steps you have to take is to participate in the government, to take part in the government, serve as a representative, serve as a senator, serve as a speaker, serve as a minister, serve somewhere. Don't just come anywhere. You just pop in the scene and then you want to become president right away. CKA Abraham Kumi, right? He is one of those people that just came and you don't want to serve anywhere. You just want to go straight to the top. And I keep saying it. If AB Kumi does not change your mindset, he may never be president in Liberia. 100%. You can't just come and say you want to go straight up to the top. Even if George Weah and Joseph are not in the election, that none of them, the two of them, none of them will be participating. Freeman will now win. AB Kumi will now win. Forget about winning. He will not even come full fifth place. He will not even come fifth place. None of those two people. Because they get a same Congo mindset. You want to come direct and just go straight up to the presidency. It can't happen that way, my brother. You got to start from the ground up. Go be a representative in a district somewhere, serve for 6 years. Go be a senator in a county somewhere, serve for 9 years. And then you run for presidency. But you can just come direct. You want to go up just because you get money to go create or to go, start a political party. So all of a sudden you want to be a president like, bro, it doesn't work that way. You can make as many outlandish statements as possible, but it's not going to work out. We have already consumed all of our time, and the internet did not do us any good tonight. But I'm sorry. If you made it this far, then you are a very, very strong follower of the show, 100%, and we appreciate you for that. So wherever you are watching, thank you for joining us today, and please like and share the live and follow us if you are not following us. Subscribe to our channel if you are watching from YouTube, and yeah, man, join us again next week, 7 o'clock Liberia time, Saturday, every week to go into the week in review, right? And from my end, have a good night. If it is in your morning in your area, have a good morning, have a great day, have a great afternoon, whatever time it is that you are watching from. And we shall see you again next week. Bye bye.
Like, follow, and subscribe.